Well, hey everyone, this is Dr. Shelley Plumb, and I'd like to welcome you all back to From the Hip. Today I want to focus on medicine. I want to focus not necessarily on Western medicine. We are going to focus on acupuncture. I have been interested in acupuncture, as many of you may know. I have a medical background being a podiatrist, and I have had quite a few patients that have come in the last couple of years who have been through acupuncture and have reported remarkable results. So here at PlumbTalk, we're curious about acupuncture. How does it work? How are people or physicians trained, to do acupuncture? We set out and we found a magnificent specialist. We found Shelley Pena, who is licensed acupuncture physician. She is wonderful, and in a moment we will be back with Caroline and we will talk about acupuncture. Germ Defense is a green antimicrobial product. It is approved by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and comparable regulatory bodies around the world. It wipes out 99.99% of harmful germs and viruses with its non-stop active protection. The process for application is easy, fast, and safe. For more information, email info@microgermdefense.com or call 1-855-282-3338. Well, hey everyone, we are back and we are here with Shelley Pena, who is a licensed acupuncture physician. Am I right?
Yes, hello.
It's good to have you with us.
Thank you, it's good to be here.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, we're going to act like none of us know anything about acupuncture. For me, my knowledge is limited. So the one thing that jumps to my mind is training.
Okay.
Training for acupuncture physicians. What is involved with that?
So,
how are you trained?
Okay, so the field has changed quite a bit in the last 20 years and even the last 5 years,
right,
for the benefit of the community. So nowadays, there's more training that's required. Right now, in order to become a licensed physician, you first have to have at least 60 hours of bachelor level course hours at an accredited university. I had achieved a Bachelor of Science from Ohio State University before I started, but you at least have to have 60 hours. Then you can enter a master's program, which is 4 academic years that can be completed in a minimum of 3 years, which is about 3,260 hours.
Okay.
I think that's about 190 credit hours, plus clinic time in order to get your diploma and graduate with a master's in Chinese oriental medicine. In addition to that, you will also achieve a Bachelor of Science with that education, since it takes 4 years to get the master's. Once you do that, then if you have gone to a nationally certified school, you can then sit for the Florida State boards, which are written by the National Certifying Commission of Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine. Those boards have gone from 2 that you used to have to pass, only 2. Now you have to pass 4 boards. The 2 original boards that you had to pass were Acupuncture Points and Foundations of Chinese Medicine, which are important.
Right.
But now you also have to pass 2 other boards. You have to pass Western Biomedicine, which is very important, I think, to show that you know the human body.
Right.
Where do bones insert, what attaches where's the apex of the lung. So we're not having as many injuries now from insertion of acupuncture needles.
That's true, it's
very
true, right?
Very true.
Yes.
But if you know the body well, it's very safe.
Okay.
And then you also have to pass Chinese herbology, which is well known as probably the toughest board to pass. They actually write it in pinyin, so it's in Chinese. You actually have to learn these herbs in Chinese, not the characters, but in what's pinyin, so it's spelled out, but it's in Chinese. So we learn them that way. So sometimes I don't even know, I'm still busy translating the Chinese herb to what it is called in English.
Right.
So yeah, so you have to have all of those. You have to pass all of those boards. Once you do that, then you are now licensed to practice.
Wow, that is amazing, because it's not just forgive me, but a year course and you're done. It is really very involved.
It is.
So there's a lot of science behind it. So that's what's involved with training. But I often wonder, you know, the science and how does acupuncture work? I mean, you have different pressure points. Can you explain what you're doing when you treat somebody with acupuncture?
Yeah,
How does it
so
work?
there's two ways to think about how acupuncture works. There's the way that we're trained in when you practice traditional Chinese medicine, you don't talk so much about the Western science part. Everything is qi, is yin, is blood, is excess, is deficient, and so, and it's very effective. You actually don't have to know a lot about, you know, what happens when you insert a needle to be an effective practitioner. But from the Western medicine side, since I'm very much a scientist myself, now we can actually see the meridians. Because of the technology that we have nowadays, you can put a body up, you can do the thermography or the whatever it is that they do, insert a needle, and you can actually watch the qi or the energy flow up that meridian. And so now we can actually prove or show that certain points, and some are actually called like source points. These points, two of them I'm going to do on you later today. That's where basically the qi of the meridian pools. And when you insert an acupuncture needle into that point, something happens. That something usually is it affects the nervous system in some way. If you're in pain, it releases endorphins in the body. So it's your body's natural pain response. So you can actually it's sort of like taking a pain pill without having to take the pain pill. And when I say sort of like, I'm not being too lenient on it. It works well. It really is effective for pain. And then also, it induces hormones to be released in your body.
Is that right?
It does. And one of the major hormones that it does tend to help with is serotonin. And serotonin is, you know, all these drugs that we're taking in the Western medicine world to try to keep our body from uptaking more of them. We want more of them in our body. So we release serotonin, and that's why it calms you down.
That is very interesting. I love to know how things work.
Me too. I really want to know. I'm always searching for information.
Right. Very interesting. And you know, I was so excited to talk to you about this today because I have friends. I have a family member who is in chronic pain, and her physician just recommended acupuncture for her, and she's actually doing very well with it.
That's wonderful.
Really well with it. And so what conditions are out there that you see on a regular basis that have responded favorably to acupuncture?
Well, Chinese medicine includes acupuncture. So
that's a good point.
In my office and in most offices, you're not going in just to receive needles in your body. Chinese medicine is acupuncture and herbal medicine. It's both. Sometimes actually all you need is an herbal formula. Other times all you need is acupuncture. Most of the time if you do both together, your results are going to be better or faster.
I see.
Also, we do cupping therapy, laser therapy. There's so many things under our scope of practice nowadays why people are able to heal. But acupuncture treats so many conditions. A great referral for an acupuncturist is a human body.
That's good.
And I say that not lightly, but pain, physical body pain is excellent for our modality. Emotional pain, very good for that. Fertility, excellent for fertility. All kinds of fertility in men and women. Sexual dysfunction, low libido. I treat that many times weekly in my office. With great success. It takes time. You have to go for a series of treatments, take the herbs, do the treatments. So it's very good for those types of things. But also it's good for palliative care. You know, for those people who are suffering from pretty severe conditions that Chinese medicine or Western medicine may not be able to heal for them, but we can treat the symptoms and therefore offering a greater quality of life.
That's great. That actually brings up a really good question. You know, one that I have been wondering about. If you're going to, say you have a condition and you set out to have acupuncture done, a couple questions, kind of a two-edged question. Number one is, what's the average amount of treatments, or does it depend on the condition? And then the second thing is, do you have to maintain it? Once you're better, should you keep maintaining a certain aspect of the acupuncture?
Well, I love the opportunity to talk about this because I think that enabled to be healed as somebody who's suffering, you must have realistic expectations. And it's really hard for any doctor from either side of the spectrum
Right.
to tell somebody how long it's going to take to feel better. It's a tough thing to do. But I can pretty much, from my clinical experience, say that if somebody comes into my practice with a year or less of what it is they're suffering from, they will have to have less treatments to feel better. Whereas if they're, let's talk about body pain. So if somebody comes in and they're in chronic, and I mean over 2 years to 20 years of sciatic pain or muscular pain, this kind of pain that's just been ailing them, and they've tried everything and they're desperate, and they're in my office saying, this happens to me. I'm giving up on life, Caroline. You are my last hope. I've done the x-rays, the MRIs, the CAT scans, the drugs, the surgeries. All the doctors are finally telling me there's nothing that they can do. And that's true. There is nothing that they can do. And I'm not saying there's anything necessarily I can do better, but what I apply, I don't change the game. I apply what I learned.
Okay.
I apply what I know, and I see what works, and I continue to do it. And what I've seen is that there is hope.
Right.
For that person who's been in chronic pain for even over 2 years, they're in loss of hope. Why? Because it's different. You're doing something different to the body. These needles are so subtle, yet so effective in so many ways. The cupping therapy is incredible. How many sessions? I always tell somebody this. I don't want to reevaluate you for like at least 3 to 4 sessions.
Okay.
And I want you every week, once a week,
Right.
for 4 weeks. I'd like for you to commit to 8 to 10 weeks straight without missing.
Right.
There's other people that I'll say, I would hope you could come 2 to 3 times a week. I know that's hard, money-wise, time-wise, but best is you can come at least twice a week. Once a week for probably 8 to 10 sessions for some things. Other things, I have people in and out in about 4 to 6 sessions.
Wow, that's interesting. Now,
Yeah.
I know you have a thriving practice and well known in the community. Do you have any success stories that you can, without naming names, obviously, but anyone that has come to you with a, like you said, been in, a chronic condition they've had for a long time, that has lost that hope, that all-important hope that you just talked about, that was able to turn it around?
I do, and it's hard for me to tell the stories without getting emotional because I feel very connected to helping people heal. There's nothing else, there's no other reason for me to do this.
Right.
And when I'm at my practice, I'm there because I want to be. It's just every moment that I'm there, I want to see somebody feel better. The best success that I have, the couple success stories I've had, are the people that have been very compliant, that take their herbs, that have come when I tell them, every week they come, they show up, they give it the time it takes. And there's one lady I can think of that she suffers from fibromyalgia. Now, fibromyalgia is one of those diagnoses that comes in my office, and I go, I got my hands on you because it's really just a pocket diagnosis for you feel pain in all over in these 17 spots. We don't know what it is. It's worse with stress, so it's fibromyalgia. And so I've had great success. And this lady she came every single week. She received her acupuncture. I put her on some herbs, 3 different herbal formulas, actually.
Okay.
And she invested the money, she invested the time, and she came in my office. This was about only 3 months she'd had treatments. 3 months every week. So that seems like, oh my gosh, that's so long. She had been suffering for years.
Yes.
So if you compare that, 3 months is a very short period of time.
It is.
So she came up the stairs, and I went to go get her in the waiting room. And I said, how are you? And she said, look. And she started tap dancing. And she said, I walked all the way up the stairs without being in pain. And she goes, look, I'm dancing. She's like, you saved me. And I said, I didn't save you. You saved yourself.
Right.
That's the thing. I'm applying something that works, and it worked for her.
That is incredible.
It's amazing. And she's, that was probably about 4 months ago, and she's down to she's on 2 different herbal formulas now, but she hasn't seen me for about a month, and she's maintaining.
Oh, that is
so that's a
so
great
cool.
success story. Another one I have is for treating pain, low back pain and shoulder pain. I've had another shoulder pain, a lady that came in, and she actually was in a car accident that was very devastating. So she had post-traumatic stress disorder, and she had chronic pain. And with her, I did treat locally for the pain, but my focus was on the emotions from the stress.
Yes.
And from releasing that,
can't ignore that.
you can't.
Never.
You
Yeah.
cannot ignore it. And actually, the herbal formula, I gave her 2 formulas. One was for upper body pain. It was called Wan Vi Tong, which is very well known in the community. Very classic, old formula that works
Right.
well. And the other one was for insomnia and stress. And through a very short period of time, I don't know, maybe 8 sessions, she was just like, I don't even want to focus on my shoulder anymore. I said, what do you want to focus on? I don't know, I just want to feel balanced. I just want to be here.
Yes.
So that's a really big success. And she said that she had taken a trip to Orlando and it was the first time she'd been in a car without having a total nervous breakdown
Is
in
that
years.
Right? Yes.
So
So you helped her, from what I'm hearing, is it helps you on a physical level, but it also helps you on an emotional level as well.
I would even put the emotional level first. We
That's
believe
great.
in
Yeah.
our field that everything in the human body, unless it was you literally got an injury with this hit you, other than that,
Yes.
almost everything stems deep down. The root cause is emotional distress.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So, you know, my next question, and I know a lot of you viewers out there are wondering too, what it's like actually to have a treatment for those of you out there that have not. And I understand you have a surprise for us. You're going to do a demonstration. I'm a little nervous about this, but what are you going to do?
I'm so excited to show a treatment on camera.
Okay.
Most people come to my office that are nervous, are very nervous because they're afraid of needles.
Right.
So the needles are very thin. And like I said before, if you get a little sensation, it's really a little one that
Okay.
tends to sort of spread.
Okay.
So anytime you have something stuck in the body and you move it, you're going to feel that movement. We call
Right.
that getting the chi.
I see.
And so
okay.
it may translate for you as a slight bit amount of pain, but usually you don't feel that.
Oh.
Generally speaking, most of the treatments are relaxing, they feel good. You get the heat lamp going, you have the music going, you have all of these meridians opening and moving.
Right.
And there's something about once everything's settled in and you're laying on the table that you can't describe. Clients get off the table and they go, I don't know. I go, how are you doing? They're like, I don't know how to describe it.
Right.
Something moved.
Right.
I feel like a release. That, you
That's
know.
interesting. That is fascinating. Okay, so in a moment we are going to be right back, and we are going. Caroline is going to do an acupuncture demonstration on me. So we will be right back.
Hello everyone, my name is Frank Morano, CEO of Microgerm Defense.
And I'm Amin Rai, Vice President. We represent a team of professionals dedicated to keeping your car germ-free.
Microgerm Defense is an EPA-approved, non-toxic antimicrobial coating that is effective against bacteria, viruses, fungi, mold, and algae. For more information, email us at info@microgermdefense.com or call 1-855-282-3338. The world may be messy, but with Microgerm Defense, we can help keep your car germ-free.
Oh my goodness. Well, we are back, and we are just about to do a demonstration,
Yeah.
an acupuncture demonstration. So how do you do it, Caroline?
Well, today we're going to do a very special treatment on you to
Okay.
help you because you were telling me that you were having some trouble staying asleep.
Right.
So we're going to do a point on you that's called Yin Tong. It loosely translates as Hall of Impression in
Hall of
English.
Impression.
It's a
Okay.
very popular point in Chinese medicine. It's on the glabella here.
Okay.
It's on the medial border of your eyebrows right in the center. It's a very calming point. It releases, induces relaxation, and also it can treat local symptoms. So if you have like frontal headaches, sinusitis, congestion in the nose,
Okay.
it can treat that as well. So we're going to do that point.
Okay.
And then we're going to do a few points on your body to help bring it all together.
That's
and I'll tell you about those
perfect.
in a moment.
Oh,
So.
that's great. And I have never done this before, so
Exciting.
fascinating. Yes.
So I did wash my hands
Okay.
before the treatment, just so everyone knows. Each acupuncture needle is individually sterilized, individual packaged, and when we're done with them, they remove them, we put them in a sharps container, and they're disposed. Some people actually ask me, do you ever use needles? And we do not. We're not allowed to, but also that would be It's
Right.
not necessary nowadays. In the old school days, they would actually reuse them. And they were much thicker and a little more painful. So now we're treated very well.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
So deep breath in. Relax. How do you feel?
Good.
Good.
I felt a little sensation go this way.
Great. So we call that
It
the
wasn't
spreading,
painful.
right? A spread out from the center of
Yes.
the point. So if you had, which it seems like you did from the feeling that you had, some stagnation, either locally in that area or possibly in the nervous system, feeling on edge or some stress, you can feel that spreading, which is really unique. You won't always get to feel that, so it's kind of cool that you were able to actually feel the chi spreading and moving.
Right.
And through the treatment, you might feel your whole body sort of starting to relax.
It was almost like wings.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're also going to do 2 more points, which is 4 total, 1 on each side of the body, 1 on each side of the foot. And we're going to do a point on the hands. It's called large intestine 4, which is called Hegu. It's a source point in Chinese medicine. And this is a point on the large intestine meridian where actually the chi of the meridian pools there. And when you combine this point with the point on your foot, it's called the 4 gates, and it opens the 4 gates. So there's many indications for this point, headache, also congestion in the head, but it opens the whole upper body. And when you combine it with liver 3, which is another source point, it basically opens any stagnation in the whole body, which is a great treatment to do before you do any other needles.
Oh, I
as
see.
well.
Okay.
Okay, and take a breath with me. Inhale, exhale. Good. And we'll do the same thing on the other side.
Okay.
Good, breathing in. Exhale, release. Beautiful.
It's interesting, on the left side, when you put it in, there was a sensation of heat, but not so much on this side.
Wonderful.
Is that good?
I wonder, I feel like anything like that is a good thing.
Yeah.
I always do. I feel like when you feel something, it's amazing. That means
Right.
whatever hasn't moved is now moving. And before we started videoing, we did your tongue and pulse, and we found that you do have some heat in your body.
Yes,
A little
yes.
bit of what we call excess heat.
Right.
And so it would make sense that you start to feel the heat moving out. Liver 3, which I'm going to do with this point as part of the 4 gates,
Right.
as a side note, also releases heat in the body.
Oh,
So it's a
that's
great
great.
point for you.
Okay.
So we're just going to do it on one side for this demonstration. It's between the first and second toe. So these points used together basically opens up circulation in the entire body.
Oh, is that right?
And not every point does that. Some points are releasing, some are tonifying, they build up the organs. This is more of a movement. This is actually these needles would be considered a full treatment.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And this treatment, what did you call it? The 4?
It's called the full, well, with LI4, large intestine 4, and liver
Uh-huh.
3 on the feet, it's called the 4 gates together.
That's fascinating. Okay, so, and you had mentioned, and we did do this, that you read my tongue and the pulse. Can you describe what you did and why?
Sure. Yeah, so when we learn Chinese medicine, we start with the foundations, and we haven't stopped using foundations of Chinese medicine for thousands of years, and it still works. We always come back to the tongue and the pulse. If a client comes in my office and they have their Western diagnosis, great, I love science, but I don't need it.
Yes.
What I need to see is your tongue. We have a normal tongue. A normal tongue looks a certain way. Any deviation from that normal tongue tells me what's going on inside your body.
Oh,
Do you
that's
have too
fascinating.
much damp, too little, too much heat, too little heat? Are you cold? And those will tell me what's going on. Usually if you have let's say you're somebody who wakes up a lot at night to urinate. This is a common symptom I have. Plus you have low back pain. Definitely you have, and you feel cold. You have this cold sensation.
Right.
We call that kidney yang deficiency. Why does that matter? What is it? We do points to tonify kidney yang, warm the body, move kidney, tonify the kidney, move qi, get the pain out from the low back.
Right.
That's a kidney related meridian issue, not necessarily something's wrong with your organ.
Right, right.
Yeah, so.
And the qi that you spoke of, especially with the when you were right here, was that a moving of the qi?
It's moving. I can imagine any acupuncture session where you wouldn't have movement of some sort.
Right, right.
I don't think you could even do it as a client if you tried.
Is that right?
Which always brings me to, and I don't have these many conversations. Most people that come to me are open. But if I have somebody like a spouse that comes in and says, I really don't believe in acupuncture,
Right.
it's okay. You don't have to believe in it. It can still work. There is a science to it as well. Although it helps to have a desire and a belief in it, because we do know that there's more to the body than blood and bones and organs and brains and hair. I mean, there's something that's driving us, whatever you want to call it. There's some force that makes our heart beat. Whatever that force is what we call qi. We can actually
that makes sense. It does.
treat the qi and build the body that way. And we do it by figuring out your tongue and your pulse. When we're feeling your pulse, I always call it your Chinese pulse.
Yes.
I'm not counting how many beats per minute.
Okay.
I'm feeling, is it rapid? Is it slow? How far do I have to push to feel the pulse?
Okay.
Is it exterior? Are you deficient? Do you have too much of something in your body? On the left side, is it wiry? That usually means like a liver blood stagnation. It means you've got pain somewhere.
Yes.
And I'm like, do you have pain? And they're like, actually, yeah. Or, and I'm like, that's the pulse.
Right.
The pulse kind of tells on you.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes. Oh, that's interesting. That
Yeah.
is fascinating, and there is so much, like you were saying, so much science behind it. So the needles that are in right now, I can tell you, all of you out there, that they don't hurt at all. In
Good.
fact, I don't feel any pain from them. How long do they stay in usually?
If you're in my practice, usually a session is an hour. We almost always talk for about 10 minutes of that hour. Talking is a big part of healing.
Yes.
And sometimes I feel that there's a lot of healing that occurs by feeling heard. So if somebody's speaking to me and I'm listening, that takes time.
Right.
So there's 10 minutes. Then you get on the table and I do your treatment, which takes me 5 to 10 minutes
Sure.
to do.
Yeah.
So by the time everything's in, you're on the table for anywhere from 40 to 45 minutes enjoying that treatment.
Gotcha.
While I'm with you checking in, we're
Yeah.
doing talking along the way.
It's
but
probably relaxing too.
very.
isn't it?
Actually, there's
Yeah.
times I walk in the room and I can feel it. You can feel, it's hard to describe. You walk in and it's like, wow, it feels relaxing here. You can feel that person
Sure.
letting down.
Oh, that's so great. That's
Yeah.
really wonderful. Well, I appreciate you showing
welcome.
us
Thank you
this.
for having me.
Oh, yeah,
It's
this
been
is
such
great.
an honor.
So in a moment, we will be right back with Caroline. Well, we are back from our break, and as you can see, I left my needles in, because I'm really definitely noticing the effects. And can I share with you what I'm feeling right now?
I would love that.
I am feeling, and I really don't know the basis behind it, but I'm feeling calm, more relaxed. And can I share with you also, before, all day today, for whatever reason it may be, I had a headache, and I do not have a headache anymore. It just went away. So can you explain that?
Sure.
Okay.
The point I did in your hand,
Yes,
which
the
is
one here.
yes, has many indications. One of the main top indications for that point is for headache.
Is that right?
It is. It's on the large intestine channel, which goes to the head and the face.
Right.
But it's a point. There's many points on the large intestine channel.
Yes.
But for some reason, the most distal one here
Right.
does treat headache and treats it well, and so does yin tong.
Oh,
Treats
okay.
headache. So
Right.
those two together with liver 3 on your foot, which helps move blood,
Right.
Moving blood is always good for headaches.
Yes.
It should dissipate, which is great. I'm glad that happened for you.
That is
I even know you had a
wonderful.
headache, so that's great.
Yeah, you know what? I usually don't say much about it, but yeah, it definitely got. And
Oh, I'm so
you know,
glad.
being a little, you know, the job that we do. I mean, most of us go through, you know, life with a little stress, and
Yes.
I definitely feel calm. And I'll tell you what, the jury's out. Where I was telling you earlier, right, about the sleep disturbances
Yes.
I've been having. So I'm curious about tonight. I'll let you know.
Me
for
too.
Sure. So for the viewers that are out there right now and they're watching what we're doing here, what words of wisdom would you leave them with regards to acupuncture? Say they're on the fence on whether, you know, they have these ailments, maybe ailments they've had for years, and, you know, they are considering acupuncture. What would you leave them with?
Yeah, so I had the same experience
Yes.
with that.
Okay.
I didn't know what acupuncture was. This was probably about 9 years ago.
Okay.
I was suffering from a female menses disorder, a hormonal imbalance that I was treating for 10 years with Western medicine through hormone replacement therapy, and I wasn't getting results, and also I was getting worse.
Oh, okay.
And so what I did was what people are doing to me.
Yes.
I Googled acupuncture,
Right.
and I called some random person who I'm still friends with to this day.
Oh, that's great.
And I called and I said, "These are my symptoms, can you help me?" And she said she could, and I didn't believe her, and I said, "Whatever, I'll go."
Uh-huh.
And I did go, and I received 2 treatments by the third treatment, even by the second one, by the third treatment, which was only 2 weeks apart, so I had 3 treatments in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And by the third treatment, I was completely healed, which nobody wants me to use that word as far as I can't say
Right, sure.
but I'm speaking as a patient.
Yes.
I was completely healed. So what I felt was when she did needling in my abdomen,
Right, yeah.
a moving,
Uh-huh.
a releasing. I just felt something.
Right.
I didn't know what it was coming out. I just felt that. It's hard to describe. It's unbelievable. It was unbelievable to me too, because I'm
Right.
science oriented.
Sure.
And I was always interested in medicine. And so everything was just kind of moving and coming out and coming out. And by the end of the third week from when I had first had the acupuncture treatment, I had my first menses that I'd had naturally ever in my life.
Is that right?
And I've been regular ever since, and I'm on no drugs, none
Whatsoever.
whatsoever.
That's incredible.
And I
yeah.
was able to get pregnant, which I was told was near impossible.
Okay.
And so it was just something that I feel like, to answer your question, you know, there's no miracle cures in this world. We
Right.
don't have access to miracle cures, really. Like I can never promise somebody that I can help them truly get to the point they want to get.
Right.
But I feel that I can
Yes.
because of the training that I have. What I would say is if you're on the fence, it really doesn't cost much of your time
Yes.
or your money or anything else to just go in, see a licensed acupuncturist, and ask them questions and see how and get a treatment
Right.
and see how you feel. See, and give it a few times. Don't give up after one treatment, or if you don't like your acupuncturist, go to somebody else. Give it a chance.
Right. And I can imagine too that not all acupuncture physicians are the same. So it's important that you resonate from a psychological standpoint with them
Yeah,
as well.
I feel that way,
Yeah.
and I would say the same if somebody came to me and didn't resonate with me.
Yes.
I wouldn't want them to give up on healing.
That's true.
And
yeah.
I know wonderful people, and there's so many wonderful people like me right here in this community. I'm not the only one.
Right.
And there's plenty of people to go around for healing. I'm all about sending people or receiving people so that they can feel better.
Right.
One way to know if you're getting a well-trained, good acupuncture physician is to go on the National Certifying Commission website, which is nccaom.com.
Okay,
I'm
that's
sorry,
good.
.org.
Okay.
nccaom.org.
You know what we'll do? Let's put it up here on the
Okay.
screen here.
Okay, yes.
That way people have that. So, I mean, that is really a wonderful resource, isn't it?
is.
Yes, to find somebody reputable.
That's right. And sometimes people will call me desperate to see me, but they're not in town, and I will go to the website and I will gladly refer them to somebody that's on that website, because it's the one resource we have for if you're nationally certified, you've gone the distance. You know your stuff.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
So for viewers out there that they have seen you today and seen, you know, the demonstration you've done, and they want to know more about you, they want to contact you and even come in and have a treatment, where would you refer them to?
Well, my name is Caroline Blanke Pena, and my business is called Holistic Health Palm Beach.
Okay.
I'm located in Wellington, Florida, on 441 in Palomino Park.
Okay, great.
Very easy to find. It's a medical plaza, and my phone number is 561-601-0999. Or you can visit my website at holistichealthpalmbeach.com.
Oh, that's perfect. Well, Caroline,
Thank you so much.
It really has been a pleasure to meet you as a person and to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.